Whose memorial did you do better at? Like if you had to post one online and you're like, which one would get more likes? Shandling's or Norm's?
Probably Shandling's.
Yeah.
Norm's, my favorite line with the Norm one was, everybody's saying how brave his comedy was and courageous. And I said, I think it was just poor judgment. Just totally poor judgment on his part.
It's crazy that in OJ's death, all they did was post Norm clips. Oh. OJ died. The only thing that went out was all Norm roasting OJ. Kind of wild.
Yeah. I love those Norm clips now. They're showing
I
didn't realize he was that funny. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I thought Norm was just kind of a wise guy, and but then he started playing all these clips. I go, that's hilarious.
His
book is great.
He was one of the guys that like we all discovered, like when the internet showed up, and then all of us have been doing stand up for a while, and we knew who Norm was, but we didn't you only knew the Norm show or Dirty Work or his SNL stuff, but like he didn't really get the props I think that he deserved. And then when the internet showed up, I remember the first clip was the clip of Carrot Top where he goes, he's with Courtney Smith, and she was like, I'm doing a movie with Carrot Top, and Coney goes, Norm, you got a joke about that? And she goes, what's it called? And he goes, Chairman of the Board. And Norm goes, is it spelled Bored? And that was the first clip of Norm's where everyone's like, I got to deep dive him.
Yeah.
I mean, his favorite joke of mine was he goes, my dad's a country guy, lived out in the country. I was with him the first time he saw an elevator. Do you know this joke?
No.
He goes, yeah.
I like the impression though.
Doors open and a big old fat lady gets in it, and my dad didn't know what it was. The doors close, and then they open again, and a beautiful woman comes out of it. And my dad looks at me and goes, Norm, go get your mom.
That's a good joke.
Norm was the thing I liked about Norm. I don't have this, but like Norm didn't mind the silence in you waiting to get the joke
for a long time.
Like he could do it. And then if you didn't get it,
he wasn't rushing it.
He was like, okay. Like I was one of my favorite Norm stories, and I only have a handful, was I was going to do a big show because my special was coming out March 17th. It comes out the 18th this year. It came out the 17th that year. Like my specials have always dropped on like one of 2 days. And I was going to do a big St. Patrick's Day call in sick to work show. Everyone was going to show up at 10 a.m. at the store, and we're going to do shows and day drinking all the way until like 9 o'clock at night. And I had everyone. I had like Spade, Norm. I had everyone. Sebastian, Joe. That was stacked. And Colin
Quinn?
No.
Colin Farrell?
Stay at home. It was calling sick to work. The stay-at-home orders came in on the 13th. So everyone's for pandemic.
What do you do when you have a back-to-back show?
What's that? What do you mean?
When you do 2 shows a night. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
How's the second one go?
It goes great.
It does?
Yeah. I don't drink on stage.
Oh, you don't?
No. Like I think that's the misnomer of me is I think people think I'm drunk. Like I ran into a person. I can't say his name because Ari said it's name dropping. But it was John Legend. And John Legend said to me the other night, he goes, we were about to do a benefit, and he was like, John Mayer. I'm sorry, not John Legend. It's better if it's John Legend. And so he goes, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you right now? I said, not. And he goes, no, like how many beers have you had? And I said, 0.
Oh, so you don't drink at all before you go on?
No, never. I never do. Like I have, but I don't. Primarily, I would never do that. So if we do 2 shows, I won't drink on the first show, and then on the second show, I'll have a drink when I start the machine story at the end. Okay. So, but what was I saying?
You were talking about
Norm.
Yeah.
So stay-at-home orders start on the 13th. On the 17th, we're supposed to do the show. We've all been in our house for 4 days now, and I get a text from Norm. I think it was a text or a phone call, and he's like, what time should I be at the club? And I write back, I don't think we're doing the show today, Norm. He said, why not? And I said, stay-at-home orders. And he goes, what's that? And I said, there's a pandemic right now. And he goes, seriously, what time should I be there? And then I just was like, I don't know how to answer. Like, but he didn't mind sending the joke text, and if you didn't get it and maybe it didn't bother him.
No.
Like I liked that.
No, nothing bothered him. No. He was he was a character. I got tons of stories about Norm, but Yeah, and nobody knew he was sick the last 9 years.
Really? It was 9 years?
And I would work with him, and I would see him all different weights. He'd be bloated, then he'd be thin from all the medicine he was taking.
Yeah.
And he would walk the room sometimes. You know, people just leave. Or people thought he was drunk, but it was the medicine he was taking.
Really?
In hindsight, I realized that. And but Norm was he didn't
tell anybody?
Great. He told our manager, Mark Urbitz.
Oh, really?
And that's all, and his son, and his friend Lori Joe, but and me and Dana. He told Dana too, and he told the VFW downtown. Yeah. And the Mason Club, the Mason, and Girl Scout Troop 25. And the people in Albania knew. And car salesman. That's it.
Car salesman.
Yeah.
I wish I had that ability.
But yeah, he was something.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.